In Van Long Nature Reserve, it was a cool boat ride in the later half of the evening. On the same day, we did Trangan boat tour. More importantly, the nature reserve was calming, relatively quiet and peaceful. It was exactly what we needed. We paid 100,000 VND for our boat ride through the wetlands, but it wasn't much in comparison to what people pay at the other sites. The Van Long Nature Reserve is a good drive away from the city of Ninh. This is probably why it attracts less tourists than it ordinarily should. If you are in this area, it definitely is worth the detour, especially since less tourists means that you have the place all to yourself. When you reach here, you will find that the length of Van Long Nature Reserve is bordered by a road. It is a nice straight road and you can walk along it as you gaze at the wetlands. You will find that this is a great option if you don't want to get into an actual boat and float around. If you have got a cycle or a motorbike, then riding up and down the road is a great way to see the vast expanse of protected land. We did this even though we did head out to the boat tour. Anything that rocks on the water feels like it is floating on the depth of a river, if not an ocean. The Van Long Nature Reserve builds that illusion up. The water should appear stagnant. Tiny ripples caused by evening breeze mimic a tide or a flow. As the lady rode along, I noticed that the nature reserve was actually quite shallow. There was a lot of different kind of aquatic plants in the water that made it hard to see just how shallow though. The best time to sight a variety of avian species is in the early morning or in the evening. If you get here in time for the sunset, it is really pretty. We found ourselves floating around watching the birds swoop down and catch a bite to eat while we were enjoying our boat ride. It was late evening. Rowboat rides 90 minutes, maximum 2 people per boat. You will enjoy the glorious limestone pinnacles, and this tranquil reserve comprises a reedy wetland that's popular with bird watchers. Limestone Karst is surrounded by freshwater lake, marshes and swamps. The water's surface is flat like a giant mirror, clearly reflecting the image of blue sky, white clouds and majestic mountains. The water here is so clear that you can see the layers of green moss at the bottom and the school of fish running around. Unlike Trangan, which is so famous with tourists, where the boat pier is always full of tourists, in Van Long you will find a different peaceful scene. A simple dock with rustic boats, beautiful natural scenery like a watercolor painting, without any human arrangement. The boat rowers are very friendly. You will not encounter people who try to convince tourists to buy things to take photos. The trip is therefore much more pleasant. Compared to Tamkok or Trangan, the ticket prices to visit and take a boat trip to Van Long are much more cheaper, only 100,000 VND per person or boat of 2 for a trip about 1 to 1.5 hours.
Trangan is a landscape of limestone peaks, valleys, many of them partly submerged and surrounded by steep, almost vertical cliffs, where exploration of caves at different altitudes has revealed archaeological traces of human activity over a continuous period of more than 30,000 years. Renowned for its striking natural beauty, including towering limestone cliffs, forests and pristine rivers. Moreover, Trangan's caves enchants visitors with its beauty of magnificent stalactite formations. Trangan Grottos, which is gathering of 31 valleys, 50 cross-water caves and home to 600 kinds of flora and over 200 kinds of fauna. Trangan landscape complex covers more than 2000 hectares. The Trangan tour takes a while to do, but they barely cover the whole area since it is too large. It is difficult to visit everything at once. You get to choose from 4 divided routes and it takes almost 2 to 3 hours for each route. Some routes may take more time to visit. It is kind of on the outskirts of the city, so getting there can be challenging. But despite everything, we would highly recommend putting in the effort to get there because it's gorgeous. There is no other way to put it. Trangan is a probably most beautiful spot you are going to visit in the Ninh area. The next question is, how do you get to Trangan? We rented a motorbike and rode it all over. That, according to me, was the simplest way to do it. We rode from Hanoi early in morning, went directly to Trangan complex. The ticket is 150,000 VND per person. Unlike in Van Long Nature Reserve, the boats in Trangan takes 5 people including the person who rows the boat. This may make the wait time a little longer than expected. We chose route 4, which is recently added and quite a picturesque route. In order to get one, you need to wait till the boat fills up. Our advice would be to ask around and form a group of 4. In our case, we didn't have to do that, as the security lady here guided us through the crowd to get the boat that was almost ready with the family of 3 on board. And we had a great time with them, as the local here are quite cheerful and friendly. Despite the language barrier one may face as a tourist, Vietnamese won't hesitate to interact with you in any form, and it is not too difficult as most of them speak English. When we set out, it was bright but cloudy. The waters were clean and clear. All too often you could see the plants growing up from the base. It felt as if we are moving atop of submerged valley. It looked like a whole different world underneath. If you love the video,
hit like and subscribe to this channel
for future video
and vlogs. Bye.
Bye.